Crosstrak's been going really well. Today's video is just on a couple of mods that I've done to it in the past few months when I've had some time to do it. The first mod that I did was the rear step. Easy modification. All you have to do is drive over a washout and it'll just tear off. Wasn't hard at all, no tools required. So I was pretty impressed with that. Am I going to put the old step back on? No, it is completely squashed and buggered. Will I replace it? Not while I own it. I've got a yellow safety step there that I use getting in and out of the canopy on the Chevy. That's actually working pretty well. It's also a good little table for my laptop and a few other things during the day when I'm sitting out here. Other mod I did was on the drawbar with the porta potty. I've done that mod. Pretty happy how that turned out. I was having dramas with the fill points on the water tanks. I've improved that design as well. Got rid of all the plastic valves and put brass ones in there. On with the video. What I'm going to do today is the mod I've wanted to do for a long time, but just never got around to it. And that is get rid of this jerry can holder, not completely, and flip it, put it on its back, because I want to put my little porta potty in here. There we go. That probably rattled the audio. Now, can I get to that one? See, this is a problem. This one here, oh yeah, just. Oh, dropped him. Okay. That's it. And I'm hoping, go back a bit. Righty-go. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so I got the porta potty sitting on here. My idea was to keep this cross member and use that as storage, but it's right at the halfway mark. Oh, not quite, but I'd really like that further back, have more support. So I'm going to cut that. I'm going to do some modifying and I'll be back. Right, so I've cut the cross member bit out, and on the underside, sit. On the underside, I've had to take that lip out on this side about halfway and just slightly angle it down. Now I've got silver cold gal there, so I'm just going to paint that. But what that does is it clears that lip, because if you look at the halfway mark where I want to put it, that little bracket, that bracket there fits up inside here, and if you look at that, follow that line, that's where that lip was sticking out and it was hitting right there, so I was holding up like that. So I've had to take that out. I'll get me level, I'll get a couple of clamps, make sure I've got it nice and neat, mark these holes. I can drill these right where it sits, but the back ones I might struggle. I'll see how I go. The drill might get in there from the back. Wait. Alright, on to the next step. Okay, I've drilled those holes. You'll notice they sprung up a bit that way. That's because I've taken the pressure off because I had the clamp on this side. Now I've got the clamp on that side, and I got myself a little right angle O-ring pick or scriber to get into the back down in there, so I don't have to. Well, there's a gas bottle bracket in the road anyway, so it's going to be difficult to accurately mark them, so this is the only way to do it. Right, that should do. Alright, I'll drill them. And there you go. Very simple mod. I'll probably trim those bolts though. You can see how long they are. Ridiculous. So yeah, I'll trim them off. Bit of cold gal. And now just got to work out what I'm going to do to strap it on there. Well, I never ended up putting the strap on the porta potty. It wedges in there fairly tight. I've done over 3,000 kilometres now with that sitting in there like that, and not a problem. So I'm just going to leave it. My next job on my to-do list is fix the water fill issue I'm having on one of my tanks. If you read on the Crosstrak forums, anyone that's interested in buying one of these vans, you'll see there's always a few people asking questions on faults they've got. One of them is exactly what has happened to mine. The check valve, this cheap little plastic device, has decided to jam. Well, actually it's self-destructed inside here and it's jammed up and it won't let any water in to fill the tank. I came up with an improved idea, not a new idea, and I went to the hose shed in Gladstone. They had lots of goodies in there, all brass, a little bit expensive, about 150 bucks for everything that I've got to fix this job, but it's well worth it. First thing I found, which is a piece of 1/2-inch bulkhead tubing, couple of nuts to screw onto that tubing because this is going to lock either side of the existing plate where that'll slide in. Then I got an adapter, so I've got a male hose fitting, garden hose fitting, and an adapter that screws onto that, and then that adapter screws onto the bulkhead. This check valve, a 1/2-inch brass, will screw onto that like so. I found plastic, but not brass, but that's okay. A right angle fitting that'll screw into the check valve, and then that'll go up into the tank. And it's just 12mm like airline hose that they run in these things. That'll fix that problem. It won't be too much longer when I set it up. I think it's only going to be about 30mm longer at the back, but it's very well protected. I can't see that I'm going to smash it off going over anything, and I reckon this will work. I'll go and start cutting and getting some thread tape and sealant, and I'll bolt all this in and I'll show you the finished product. I need to do one for the mains. I never use it. I don't think I ever will. In saying that, I will swap it regardless. I need to get some caps to stop any dirt getting in there. Job done. Okay, let's talk about storage. Living in this for the last few months and also having my last van, one of the biggest things I found was I was a hoarder. And I just seem to collect stuff. Don't ask me why, but every drawer, every cupboard had stuff in it. This van, one thing I did like is it didn't have too much storage, which was good because I thought, yes, I don't want extra storage. Outside cupboards in the kitchen, I don't overload these. It's very light, but yeah, 3 little plastic 8-litre tubs. They don't quite fit. If you put some cooking books under there, that one fits perfectly. Then your knives can go in there, like your little choppers and your really sharp knives. Yeah, packet stuff in there, odds and ends, measuring cups, just all stuff for cooking. I've still kept these drawers, they're quite handy. Only using them for a few toiletries. All my knives and forks go in there, spoons, pastas and soup packets up there. This one here is a 6.4 litre storage. All your spices, toothpicks, salt, pepper, allspice, you know, all that sort of stuff goes in there. I've got a second one of these that goes in here, most of the time, but I take it out during the week because I have toiletries and that, and I take that to camp with me. And then on the weekend, it's in the van here, but I'm about to pack up and head back to work, just down the road actually. That canister doesn't go in there, that usually will go back into there. That's where I put them. I don't like them bouncing around up there in case they start venting off. Underneath, we have all the heavy stuff, all your soups, bottles, everything goes in here. Saucepans, sugar, plunger. Jayco, you always need a plunger because of these stupid airlocks that they have in the sink, and that's why, because they're so restricted. I'm going to fix that one day. This leaks too. The seal on the sink, actually it's not the seal on the sink, it's the seal under here, under the lip. Under here there's a gap. So I need to get some Sealant and fix that, because yeah, there's water there dripping down from when I've just cleaned the sink. But anyway, that's another little job I've got to do. I've got all my small cookers, so my little June cooker, they're all fire starters in a nice sealed box because they stink. Jet boil, Ozpig, and then in here is all my Weber accessories like my pizza tray, stone, skillets, all that, all padded so it doesn't break. Underneath in here I got these plastic heavy duty tubs. Up here I got Barbie tray for over a fire pit, more bedding in those plastic tubs, all my spare sheets and pillowcases and that are all clean, they go in there. And then with my Weber, I got another plastic tray like that, or tub. The Weber just fits in there. I've got to remove the knob, otherwise I'm worried it's going to break off. So it just sits down in there. There's my Weber. Now I've got my little thermo pot. It goes in there. And last is my tackle box. And up the back there is my fishing rods. Down here, hoses, a couple of spare alley trays and that for the Weber. And then a bit of a junk box going on there. That sorted that space out. This cupboard near the door, I spun it round. As I found, I'm always outside and it's just easier to be on the outside of the van like I am now, and I can just come in here, open that door up that way and get the stuff. Yeah, got me drill for winding my legs down, battery chargers, Milwaukee, Makita, spare little gas canisters, medical supplies, first aid kit, grease, wheel bearing kits, few spares for the van go down in here. Solar panel goes on the bed. That's a 400 watt that I do need because I find the solar panel on this van does lack charging these batteries. I am going to get around to upgrading that down the track because I'm sick of carting this big heavy panel around. Cupboards, still using the little 8-litre storage tubs for all my t-shirts, pants, spare toilet paper, books. This one here, camera gear and equipment like all my GoPros and other camera equipment up in here. This side, same clothes, nothing's changed. Just shirts, shorts, socks, jocks, knickknacks, more camera gear like my tripods and stands, again, knickknacks. I have had a few problems with these struts. If you don't grab the door when you go to close it and have a hand either side evenly, if you're slightly off, it'll twist ever so slightly and they'll pop out and wedge up the back there, and they're a bit of a pain to get out. Just be aware of that. There's a fair bit of flex in the fiberglass here. Nice and even when you close it, you won't have a problem. The other issue I had on the shower, the stitching here tore out. I went to a camping shop and bought just these punch-in eyelets. I got one either side. I just got some bungee cord and just made my own little straps, and that's been like that for about 4 months now. That's a quick fix. I'm pretty happy with the van. I've done just over 10,000 kilometres now on it. I've had a few little issues that I've just discussed now in this video. Other than that, it's a great van. It tows extremely well. You know, I've had it in some places where I thought I was going to roll it. No, it stayed on all its wheels, which was good. I'm happy with the chassis, the body. I'm not having any issues with cracks in the body or any sort of splitting going on, like with the amount of twisting that I do on some of these creek crossings and that. In saying that, if you're going to go bush, I wouldn't say bush bash, just try and get out and check some of these sites without wrecking your vehicle or wrecking your van. You still got to have a bit of mechanical knowledge behind you. You can't just expect to get a brand new car and a brand new van and then let's hit the road, because regardless, things are going to go wrong. And you have to be prepared for that. You have to have tools on board. You have to carry spare parts. Even the Chevy, I carry spare belts, I carry spare oil, water, all that stuff, because you just never know. And it gets regularly serviced. The van I service myself, but it is going into Jayco shortly for a 10,000k service. I'll get them to do it just to give it a bit of a once over. But other than that, I do my own maintenance. So there you go. That's my review on the Crosstrak after 6 months of full-time bouncing around. See you next time.